So be careful with the thoughts that crowd your mind, steal your peace, steal your energy. Be careful with the entanglements that come into your mind, making you feel like there's a whole lot of activity going on in the world, except that you're just planted without moving, not doing any kind of actions to push forward your life, except everything's going on up here. And somehow we consider that to be either fruitful or eventful, or our lives are moving in some kind of way. It's not. Be careful with the types of snares, pits, and bedrock. Anything that has to do with things that tell you it can't happen or won't happen or this or that, right? All life really responds to is the I wouldn't say all life really responds to, but as it pertains to the law of sowing and reaping, right? The whole thing there is about setting forth an action, putting down seed that is like that seed that you sow. Like there's a Bible verse that say, they that sow sparingly will reap sparingly. They that sow bountifully will reap bountifully. You can reap a harvest according to how much you put down in effort and action. Now, while you're in the wilderness, you're going to be faced with all kinds of opposition, mostly up here, phantoms, illusions, strongholds, past programming, voices that tell you you can't do it. Whether they be literal voices from people that appear for that season and tell you, oh, what are you up to? Oh, I'm up to this project. Well, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, or this, that, and the other, right? This is all part of the quest, is to push and probe and see, like, on your belief system, on your identity, how bad do you want this? Do you believe in it? Will you fight? Will you defend that of which is this prized dream of yours, right? We've all been there before. We've all seen our what happens when we express our goals, our dreams, our ambitions to other people, that they don't understand it, and how they squander that, and they throw dirt on it, they put their smudges on it, and devalue what it is that it's something that God placed in us to go and pursue. Not to share it with the world, but to show the world, right? This is your contribution of your gift to the world, and let them see it. Don't tell the people I'm gonna lose a ton of weight. Don't tell the people I'm gonna do this profession, or I'm gonna set out to do this or that. Just show them, and they'll applaud on their own, if that's what you're looking for. Not that the applause means anything, but some people look for that kind of thing. Now, I just want to tell you, the main focus of this video has to do with the mind, and how sometimes nothing is going on in reality, but there's so much going on up here. And all life really responds to is what you put out, the output, right? It doesn't check in with how you feel. It doesn't check in with what you're thinking about. It just wants to know, did you do anything today? Well, I didn't do anything today because I felt this way and I thought that way, and this happened to me, and I got bad news over the phone. In that respect, life doesn't care. Life only responds to the sowing and reaping. Like the law of what did you do with today, and what did you do with your time, and what kind of seeds that you sow. Because we talked about sowing sparingly and sowing bountifully, but then also I would dare to say that there's seeds that go deeper in both good fertile soil and then shallow soil, according to whether or not you intentionally want to go and set out and really do something with the benefit of seeing the results. We've all done stuff half-heartedly. We've all done stuff 25%. And we've all been there when we really mean it, and we really go all in, and we put in full effort. And we're not taking no for an answer on this one. On this particular one, it's going to happen, because we've made up our mind. So all I'm trying to tell you is that to live your life intentional about everything you do with the things of God and with your own personal self. Be intentional about it, and don't take a no for an answer. Don't let the flux of life, all that, there's so many entanglements that we gotta like watch out for. There's so many suggestions, opinions, feelings. There's so much different things going on that crowd the truth, crowd the special space that you need to focus, concentrate, grab that gold, that nugget, that pearl, grab it and show it so that you can see a harvest. You got to guard it, protect it, defend it, steward it, manage it, push it forward, and guard it like it's a baby. A newborn baby, they're so fragile. They're innocent, right? And other people can mismanage that. If you hand it over to them, they can mismanage it. And, they say a newborn baby, you shouldn't pass them to a lot of people. People have germs, and unintentionally, the newborn baby is so fragile. It can get sick or whatever. So don't pass there's things that matter to you. Don't pass it around. Keep that to yourself and just do it. If it really matters to you, do it. Whatever it is that you want in terms of validation or people applauding you or patting you on the back or whatever, that comes when you complete it. They notice, and then they do that on their own. Okay? I wouldn't chase that in life. I would say that it's fleeting. It's up and down like a yo-yo. And I just think that you and God are the majority. You got God, you already won. And everybody else, right? You're supposed to manage them. They're not supposed to manage you. Always remember that. Don't give yourself over to people so that they can manage you. You manage them, right? You tell them how they feel about this situation, not them tell you, right? This is how you get control of your life, right? And those people that don't want to listen, they're not part of they're not supposed to be connected to the branch, to the vine in your life, period. Because it's not, a little bit of yeast ruins the whole bread. So it's just a fly ruins the whole perfume bottle. And what that looks like and what that is that you can have a lot of things going for you, but a little bit of something that is off or contrary to that of which you're trying to build and grow and become, a little bit of the contrary can ruin the whole thing. So that's why I say in a lot of my videos, have a single eye. Don't have eyes for so many things, because there's a Bible verse that says that if your eye is single, then you'll be full of light. But if your eye is not single and you're looking at things that are impure, you're letting in darkness into your vessel when you do that. And so that when you do that and you think that you're full of light, how great is that darkness that's inside of you? That's how the verse ends. So then what that kind of looks like is that if you're trying to go somewhere, don't have a bad friend, a bad influence in your circle. That will eventually erode at the stuff that you got going for you. I've had buddies lose scholarships because of bad influences and just a little bit of weed, and weed's not bad, and this, that, and the other, losing great opportunities and great things going for them. Good family, good morals, good everything, just going somewhere in life, and all of a sudden one bad friend takes them down the wrong journey. They lose all kinds of good perks, and now they're a bum. They're living as a bum in their house, almost in their 40s, still living at home with mom, not married, no children, all because a little blunt, right? So don't tell me weed's not bad. I've seen too many cases, too many stories, too much evidence to see that it does lead you down the wrong road, and it expires that of which is thriving inside of you. It puts it the hunger, the ambition, the motivation to become, it kills that in the person. It makes them lazy, lethargic, just sit down and relax and play video games and don't do much with your life. And I've seen that happen so many times with so many people. So it kills you from within, slowly but surely. I don't know how I ended up here, but somebody needed to hear that. Now, in conclusion to this video, like I said in the beginning of this video, there's so much going on up here, but not so, like there's a saying that says 90% of life goes on in your head and 10% happens in reality. So like people are still playing out things that happened to them when they were young, 7, 10, 12, 15 years of age. Something traumatic happened and they're still playing that. Now that's not happening currently, but they haven't let it go. And you need to heal, you need to be delivered, you need to forgive, you need to let go, you need to break chains. And even though this right here will suggest things, just like people swipe, you can swipe that thought right out of your head. And you're intended to. The Bible says to cast down imaginations that exalt themselves above God, to pull them down, right? You're intended to swipe and grab that thing and say, nope. So I'll end this video with this. What would your life, this is just a question, what would your life look like if you intentionally put in your mind beautiful, awesome, excellent things in your mind on purpose? You thought about the grandest life that you could live. Let's say that it's an impossible life. Let's even go all the way over there. An impossible life, right? You're the first trillionaire to ever, I don't think there's a trillionaire out there. Let's say, imagine yourself to be a trillionaire. You can buy anything you want. You can give, you can share, you can bless, you can help, you have influence and this, that, and the other. Like, envision all of that. I want you to envision not just that, because money's not God. Envision a great relationship with God. Envision that you are best friends with God. Envision yourself in heaven, eating with Him, talking with Him, having, just this walks with Him where He brings you in close and shares with you secret and private things, and He just brings you in close and He can trust you, etc. Envision all of that. And as you envision these types of different things, you're going to see that emotions are attached to what we think about. In other words, emotions are thoughts in motion. And so whatever you think about, you will start to absorb those types of inclinations. Happiness will be attached to it, joy, whatever you're thinking about, peace, etc. So the more of this type of data that you'll understand fundamentally of how to navigate your life, the better you'll be able to be equipped to handle things. And not only handle things, but position yourself to leveraging and going forward, even when it's hard. So when life is suggesting at you, when your mind is suggesting to you so much to think about, and it's negative in nature, swipe, replace. I just told you what you can replace it with, these beautiful, awesome things. So I'm just telling you that I believe personally a happy life is a sound mind and a state of being in your mind. That equals happiness, satisfaction. When you think about excellent, praiseworthy things, you're going to be in a good place. By being in a good place up here, things just feel good everywhere else. And so I would dare to say that if you position yourself to working up here and just putting yourself in a good place, that life will flow a lot better than what it is right now. Even when things throw at you curveballs and this and that, there's a way, position yourself strategically in your mind to handling this and looking at it from another angle. Instead of life is happening to me, you can look at it so many different ways. What is this trying to show me? What lesson? Let's see what I'm made out of. I look at this like it's a challenge, or a challenge to grow, or, become more disciplined. All these different types of angles to look at things from, instead of, man, poor me, boo-hoo, life is always happening to me, I can't catch a break, when it rains it pours, etc. Like, that's no outlet and that's no answer, right? It sounds like the devil made up those things. So just look at things from an angle where you get a leg up from it. Because a lot of life, if you haven't noticed, there's fundamental truths to life. There's truth that God's laws and his ways, and a lot of people find it by way of living. They see that the results are here, and these are truths that God has placed in life, right? Gravity, everybody comes to an acknowledgement that gravity is real, etc. But then people have acknowledged in the world karma. That's what they call it, karma. But the Bible calls it sowing and reaping. And there's truths all over life that people are funneled through. That if you do this, you'll get this. And people, even on the other side of the fence, they find that God's ways are funneling them towards the right type of life, because you can only bump your head so much until you say, okay, this is not working. So I'm done with this video. I just hope that it blesses you. I hope that you position yourself more as an authority figure, as an operator behind your life, and learn how to maneuver better the obstacles that are placed in your way. And also, you can enjoy your voyage on earth. Instead of endure it, instead of survive it, you can enjoy it, because there is a way. So God bless you.